Any demo today? No, and I don't think I have any. I will just show what I did. Status, harvest, triage, new website. I have a list. I haven't shown any new website for a while. And what else? Well, anything you want to talk about. I have something for Eric, and we'll see. Okay, status. I'm trying to share my screen. Might not work because it never works. I will start Visual Studio first. Oh, I didn't push that. Oh, I will then. Loading. Okay, sharing screen. Benedict, as usual.
Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's loading. Yeah, I can join. I rejoin the presentation.
Be careful not to click on some commits you should not see.
Yeah, okay. Give me a half a minute, please. I have to rejoin.
It's being fed by a shape table provider, but at some point, that shape table provider isn't invoked for some reason. So that's what we saw initially, the blank page.
Okay.
That's because of an error occurring. I need to look into that.
And remark, I used it 10 minutes, but something, look, this is my profile. And when I go on it, okay, my positions, this is my personal profile, but if I go, I don't know, did I work on something? It doesn't show the profile is in Markdown, but it's not.
Oh, I know what you mean.
This, yeah. And also my positions, it's using my old position and not the current one. So I don't know. Maybe I should remove it. Just okay, good. So you know. Then Benedict, see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay. So status, not so many things because I was super busy last week. Fixing Superuser updates. Yes, just because it was an open issue on Orchard Pros, I dug into it and I found a bug actually. The bug was that while you were trying to update the Superuser, it will check for your permission to update, but it first updated the model before checking the permission. So it was checking the permission with the user you were putting inside the text box instead of the other one. So this is fixed. It was on 1.8x. Then adding ignore nocash setting to output cache. So two things in this commit related to a comment on the forum. Some user who said that it was duplicating the browser agent, the user agent was duplicating entries in the output cache storage. So if you will go with Chrome or IE or Firefox, there will be 3 different cache entries. So first, this is wrong. If you use a 3 different user agent, it will store it only once, unless the accept header is different, because the key is dependent on accept header. So this is why it might create different entries based on the accept header, but not based on different browser actually. And then I've added. So there was nothing to fix because I don't want to fix that right now. I don't think it is an issue either. And what I fixed is that I removed the the line that he thought was the culprit, which was this one, set vary custom by browser. This is just for actually not storing ourselves the data in our cache, but for public proxies to say how to vary the cache they are saving. And this actually doesn't work from what I've seen on internet, because they are all different. So this is removed, and these two, which didn't affect anything. What I've added though is a new property on the output cache, which is called ignore nocash. The idea is that when a crawler or a client sends a nocash header, it says, oh, refresh anything you have. But you might want to ignore this, so I've put a checkbox for that, and by default it's not checked, which means it will apply it by default. It's just if you really want to override the behavior of the nocache, you can say no. Even if someone asks me for nocache, I will give him my cached item because I know it's up to date, because Orchard has tagging invalidation, which means if you change a content item, it will invalidate all the pages which were using this content item. So it might improve perf if some crawlers use a nocash tag, just optional. Ignore nocash. Then I fixed a reference to a DLL which was using the GAC one instead of the one in the libs folder, and this could trigger a warning during build. So now this is fixed. Then I merged 18x to 1x to let all users on 1.x use the fixes we do. And as I said last week, I would do it quite often. Then on 1.8x, and so the next two changes, I don't think, so this one has been pushed, yes, fixing cache admin view. It was a bad editor for the new property. And on 1.x, I have added a module I had on Bitbucket that I never released. What triggered it is that someone on the forum said how much bullshit Orchard is. I'm just simplifying his terms, because there was no database output cache provider, and I was like, but there is one. I checked the code, and no, there was none. So actually, I had done that on the public module and not in the core. So I just copy pasted the feature in the core. So the idea is that when you can now save the output cache in the database. The idea is that if you hit a page, if you have, for instance, 2 nodes or 3 nodes of farm, and because the entry of a page will be in a database, there will be only one query to the database, and this content will be shared across all the nodes. This is a way to do that using the database. It's a simple one, so I included it in a core, and it's 1.x because it's a new feature. Done, and it's quite fast. Then I worked on stuff and also SQLite. So I took Eric's branch pull request, which he updated as he said last week, which is nice because it was on the new master, so it was easy to pull. It works well on my machine. Eric, are you here? The issue, what I did is that I stress tested it because it was faster, so I wanted to see how fast it was. But if you stress test it, it's fast unless you try to edit some content at the same time. And then the database is locked, and I can see the log file which is not released. Like SQLite doesn't support someone to read the database and someone else to write it at the same time. It's supposed to work. It's so obvious that it should work that I must miss something, but right now it doesn't work. So it might be fine for a simple blog, but as soon as I try to edit the content and someone tries to read the database, that's it. It doesn't work, and it's very easy to repro. I'm just you might have seen this thing. I'm just doing some load, so I have something like load cd. And I do a load test and the localhost, something like that, and I simulate 2 users, and at the same time I go to the website and I try to edit a page, and boom, database is locked, and the only thing to do is to stop the application, delete the lock, and restart the app. So that's kind of limiting. Otherwise, it works very well. It's very well integrated. I didn't try to do a deployment, but it was nice. So if you guys just try that and see, try to repro, and maybe it's well. So I think that's it for the new things. I'm currently working on this guy. So you might remember, maybe you don't know, but Bertrand complained a few weeks ago that he saw lots of log exceptions about a timeout expired for SQL connections due to triggered by background service, and the reason is that the connection pool is full, and then it can't create other connections. And we told him, that's your problem. Well, that's the default answer we give always. No, it's easy. And that's his problem until I have the same problem. And now that's also my problem. Oh, wait, the phone. Shut up, the phone. Phone, shut up. Okay, so I got the same issue, and I have it quite fast. I won't say the issue is in the background service. It can be that the background service surfaces the issue, meaning that because it's creating a new transaction for each of the available tasks, it might just show up faster if you have the background service working. Did anyone see this issue? Maybe something? No, nobody saw that. That's weird. So right now I'm trying an app on Windows Azure website where I removed this line and this line. And this was actually introduced, I think, in 1.8 and 1.7x, so that could be related. This is creating a new transaction, and that should work, but there might be a bug here, and how it's done, and the session management. So I'm trying without it. If that solves the issue, there must be a better way to do that. I'll tell you next week how it is. And if this is the issue and I can find a solution, we'll have to release a 1.8.1 for this, because I think I can update my local application, that's fine, but I'm sure everyone else will see the same issue. We'll have the same issue. So I'm not. Is there anyone using 1.8 today? Should we not dispose? Yes, dispose what? Dispose the transaction manager? No. The require new will create a new transaction for an Hibernate internally. The cancel will dispose it if there was an exception. If there is no exception, the second call to require new will actually commit the previous one, and by committing it will release it, I assume. But the issue is not at the transaction level, the issue is at the connection level, and the connection is the session. So the idea might be that the session is not released correctly when created from background service. I look into the code, and that should be fine, because actually what it does is the require new will create a session, and this guy, iTransaction Manager, will hold the session, and when it's disposed, it should also release the session. So that should be fine, but maybe read the next line. What next? Who are you talking to?
Oh, because you started explaining, but Nicholas already understood understood the answer to his own question. That's why he says read the next line.
So for what? It's not like now it's urgent. It's like it's like if we find there is an issue, it's a big issue and we need to fix it. But I'm trying to prove there is an issue and where the issue is, and so because if you are the only one to get it, that's your issue. If we are two to get it, maybe there's a problem. But we only two to believe it, two to have it. No. It's doing Raspberry Pi stuff might be the issue. Yeah, and no one else sees that. That's weird. So you see, maybe we have the same issue and nobody has this issue. So maybe that's just our issue. Lengthy closing session. Yeah. So yeah, I'll see if commenting that. Well, you can also try that, Bertrand, if you want. Try to comment out that, because it's just to make background tasks to be each of them in separate transaction. If you don't have critical stuff in your background tasks, that should be fine. So try to remove that and see if it mitigates the issue, and maybe that's the problem will be there, and we know that we have to work on that and understand what happens here. Have been an issue for a long time. Yes, that's why we fixed it during the last release. We actually created transaction in background task. There was no transaction in background task before. Totally, yes. Whose wife is doing the dishes? Nicolas Main. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, if you have a... Well, we are sorry, but we are just. Is there any woman here today? No, so I assume. Yeah. Well, or it was Zoltan and Benedek had his mic on, but Zoltan, no, yeah, Benedek, no.
No. Good guess, but no.
Sorry?
It was a good guess, but no.
I didn't get it. Okay. What else? Harvest. There are no news. Ilan and I are working on the sessions. Who will talk about what? I was filing the list of Microsoft speakers and the talks I wanted to give. If you haven't submitted any talk yet, you can still do. What am I missing? Blah, 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 blah. Nick will be at Harvest. Good. Yeah, he's already starting to. Okay. Yeah, we'll see. Yep. So nothing new here. I don't think so. The site is there. We are working on the content for the session right now. New website. Okay, let me paste it to you because it's been a long time. Chat. Okay, so it seemed to work, and now I just click. Okay, Mountain Travel Symposium. Schedule. Is this an image? This is an image. Nothing special. Let me check its Orchard. Sometimes I might make a mistake. It is Bootstrap, apparently. Are they using Philips module? Doesn't seem so. For about page. Okay, this one. As usual, nice cars. Capital Consulting. Looks like Bootstrap 2. Not sure actually. I don't know. But nice. Harry Chapin Food Bank. Yeah. Nice one. Fancy books. I don't see Bootstrap. Golf membership. Always the same web. They are all the same. Slides. Not big websites this week. They are unordered, so it depends every week. Nice one, big menus. Good. So just a set of websites. I'll try to get big ones next week. Did I miss something? Is a static HTML page. No news on the new website. This time I'll try to restart the discussion. Any question? Because there is not many announcements today.
Antoine just brought up a good question. What about the module contest?
Good question. I'm asking you the question. What about the module contest?
Yeah, we'll speed up the process a bit. So hang on, we have some announcements and yeah.
Oh.
So we're organizing it.
Please announce. Go.
Okay, not now. But yeah, we have some news probably until next week.
Okay. Fine. What else? So triage then? No question, no demo, no topic today. Yeah, triage. Wait, I'm trying to find a reason not to do triage. What was released last week that could impact Orchard? Nothing specific. No build was 2 weeks ago. Okay then, triage. No escape. This one. Oh yes. No, it's fine. Issues. I don't see you. So I already have triaged some high priority bugs that were that need to be fixed for the next release. So for instance, the missing file is the EDM file that is missing on some systems. Library, a media library which doesn't work with spaces in names or hyphens apparently. Name routes don't work. New comment should not imply dblog, Bertrand's favorite one. And resize media URL is too slow. This is one I created long time ago, which was already open before, so we can ignore it. Performance issue, but not really impacting a website, so that's fine. Otherwise, so we have lots of proposed ones and 4 I will say unassigned, okay, and impact all. Not that many. Why so? Proposed. Well, did I make any mistake here? It's weird. Just 266 proposed now. All. If I say all. No, that's it. That's weird. Okay. Today. Okay, I'll try to take this way just to see. I start with the new ones and then I go back on the old ones. So I get index was outside of the bounds of array. Sometimes in output cache module. So 17x. Let me see.
Oh, this guy created a ticket on Orchard Pros as well with the same screenshot. And I think you fixed this one in 1.x before the 1.8 release, because I've seen this error myself with another client.
Yeah, and I know I've worked on the tag resolution, yes, also at some point. So I think it's, yeah, I said no issues on it for me, and I assume it's the same as, and I'm using output cache a lot. So
yeah, and I also haven't heard back from. The client didn't.
I will close it as already fixed, and say for 1.8. So, yep. Okay, next. And the part of lost password which checks dons and input new password is not working. So Christian, I assume you're on 1.8. When the new password is posted, so the user is sent to release. I will try that. Taxonomy selection enable autocomplete. If it doesn't work, it's because of zipcode. If I have a term Mozart Wolfgang Amadeus, when enable autocomplete is false, the term is displayed in its entirety. Enable autocomplete is false. Okay, Mozart as an option in the radio list, correct.
Oh, it splits by space. Apparently.
When enable autocomplete is true, the term displayed doesn't use a radio list. Text field autocomplete chops Mozart to Mozart. Bad. Yeah, bad. Okay, active.
Hey, Seb, could you have a look at the bug that I pasted into the chat window and see if we could have that in 1.8x? Whether it's a bug or a feature, it's one that people are bringing up to me. I just wondered if you've got any ideas on how to fix it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So what did you say? If I made a comment, it's a good one. So okay, let's see this issue. When previewing an unpublished item, it is a different URL than it will be when published. True.
Yeah, because it uses a preview one, right?
And therefore, the proper URL-based alternates or match pattern don't kick in and display the item. Okay. Yes. So, what will the solution be? Good suggestion. Or it could be also an HTTP header.
Yeah.
But it's harder to do. A core listing actually simple. We just need to check a security issue, so you need to be able to view a preview, so we could just check the query string and check the permission still. So that could work. Okay.
My only question is that if you do that, then what if the page has a form on it that has a property within it that is looking for version? You know what I mean? Like if there's a piece of functionality that's embedded on that screen and you still want to view it as in preview mode, do we really want to put stuff in the query string? It might interfere.
It's another property. No, because it will target a specific URL. So it will just work for the content item preview. No, wait.
No, that still won't work.
Yep. So it will go to the current URL. Then the alias will trigger the content item display. Should it work for? Nah, we can just do it for content item display route, but that will be most routes actually. So I think that could work. So only if we have access control for it, yeah, we still need to check the Azure. I have no objection, but I still think the solution will be approached like instead of patch. Previous site content items by specific. Oof.
Yeah, I know it's a bit of a biggie. It's just it's probably one of the most annoying.
Yeah, this one is hard.
Yeah.
Okay, you are allowed to try to do it.
I'll have to try. Okay, thanks.
It should be easy. And to demo us to see how it works and the impact on the code. when Owen is done.
Yeah, well, if that ever seems to work. Stupid Owen.
Oh yeah, just stupid, not Owen. Media library won't validate against whitelisted file types. So this is actually a feature request we had in a previous module, the media module, a whitelist of files, media files which are allowed. I didn't implement it in the media library because now the media library can handle any kind of file. And
is that the old media library picker?
Yes. Well, he said won't validate against. There is no. I'm thinking he's saying that the new media library is missing this validation.
Oh, okay.
So, can anyone give me a reason to validate against listed file types?
Well, you might want to stop users from uploading those files. I don't see any reason why not.
Okay, give me a reason why I would like to prevent users from uploading a specific type of file.
Maybe you don't want them uploading JavaScript files or
And,
executables.
No? Okay. So then you will define a whitelist?
Well, you could have a whitelist. Yeah, the admin could define a whitelist to say don't allow the user. Oh, a whitelist. Yeah, you just say PNGs and whatever.
We are talking about an administration thing, so why would an editor upload an executable? Or if he uploads an executable, maybe he wants to upload an executable.
Well, that's.
What was it?
Yeah. Is he allowed? You know.
Well, let's say I put an executable file in the media system, file system.
Yep.
Then so. Do you use that? Did you use that? Yeah, I don't see anyone using that actually. Nobody complained until now. Nobody even voted on it. And then, as I say it, Christian will push the vote button. Nope.
Well, it only got raised yesterday, so.
Yeah. Though I'm not sure we have other priorities. So I won't say it's not a bad idea, but one day maybe if we have nothing to do. But definitely, if the media library picker was on the front end and available to anyone, yes, we will need to validate what is sent. But this is not the case. This is for authenticated users who have access to the backend and can already edit things. And yeah. So for instance, today, if I can push my executable on Dropbox and put a link to it, and then here you go. You see, so if someone wants to push an executable on the file system, yeah, maybe he wants that. There's a reason for that. Or I want to release my executable to everyone. So I don't see why I'm preventing that.
I don't know. Do you think something like .nest, what Zoltan and Benedict have done, maybe they don't. Maybe they want to stop users from uploading particular files to, They
can't. Well, they can. And though I have a body, I put a link to an executable on Dropbox, and the user of the website will still click the link.
True, but it doesn't live on their server.
It doesn't live on their server, and the link is on their server. I don't know. You will click on the link on their server or not on their server. That's the same issue. Yep. Non-democracy. It's a good. Okay. Active now. 1.8x invalidated features should also be applied on placement info files and alternate. Ooh. Whenever I see that, I want to go next. Christian. Actually, it does not work. What? Invalidated features, annotate invalidated features should also be applied on placement info files and alternates. My module is a part named order part and a content item named order. I'm also using commerce, which also divine. But the part is selectable. There are so many conditions, I'm already lost. My module uses a part named order part and the content item order. Okay, order part. Also using noted commerce, which also defines in its namespace a part named order part and a similar content item order. Okay. But this part is selectable. Selectable? Maybe you mean attachable. And not by feature or not by a feature. Orchard feature, that one. Okay. This select, okay. Orchard feature, which I don't use. But noted commerce contains a placement file with this IC. So the placement is applied. Okay, I see. Placement info files. So the placement is applied because the placement is per module and not per feature. Which means if a placement is actually related to a feature, even though you haven't enabled the feature, the placement will be applied and it might conflict with other parts. Okay. Okay. I see. This is a very specific problem, and I will give a solution. Oop. So, to fix it, two solutions have of placement.info per feature and not per module, or but it's harder, it can be slower to check, is have placement is for enabled features. This way you could say, oh, in the case of Noisette here, it could say that the place could be in a match feature enabled Noisette. So the two solutions could work. This one might make more sense because that's how we do with configuration, and that could be on a naming convention, but this one could also be actually simple to do. The issue is that whenever we check for a placement, we will need to ensure that a feature, to check if a feature is there, and that might be costly.
Yeah, actually, I think the second one would be better, so regardless of the implementation details, because if you have the first one, people might think that the placement.info is also scoped for the feature, but this is not the case.
Well, it could be. Or you mean the default one? No.
I mean, they would think, because I think that would be intuitive to think that a placement.info for a particular feature only affects the shapes of that particular feature. That's what I mean.
Okay. Okay. This one might not be that slow if we are, well, it's opt-in. So if you don't have the feature, like if you have match and you have feature equals Noisette, placement inside, then the impact will just if you use that. So we could not use that, but when there is a conflict, you could try to resolve it by doing that. I see tilting. Yeah, so the issue for Bertrand is when you enable one feature and not the other might still define a placement of the first feature if the names conflict. So that's the issue. So that would be a match feature Noisette or something like that. Well, maybe. Yeah. This should not be that hard to implement. Will it solve the issue? Also, I don't know what we do today, but if the feature of the module, the default feature of a module is not enabled, should we load the placement info? Maybe not, and maybe that will solve the issue, I don't know. If the default of a module is not enabled, placement should not. So.
Or maybe we could add that XML tag inside the placement info, something similar to the Orchard feature attribute on classes.
Yes, but But this relates to what Zoltan said, is that when you have a placement info, it can apply to many features, the same placement info.
Mm. Yeah, it can apply, but the thing that if we load the placement info file, so this tag would only be used when loading placement info. So when the feature is disabled, the feature that contains that placement info, it will not load the file at all, like it's not existing.
What we could do also is to fix the fact that the placement info is loaded even if the module is not enabled, and this is to create another which is like name equals asset, and then you have your match inside. Oops. And this will be optional and compatible with what we have today.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about something like this.
It will work too, and this will fix everything.
And if the feature name is not, if the feature tag is not specified,
it's applied.
We use the default.
It applies the match and the placement. It's parsed. Otherwise, not parsed. So that would work. Yes, it's just when the file is parsed, it looks for the available modules. The issue then, well, the issue then will be that if you enable a module to reparse the files, which you don't want, today it's not the case. So actually it's about adding the filters to the predicates when we parse this. So it's like so syntax has to the predicates, because a placement match is creating a predicate, like a lambda on the predicates, enabling slash module can be reflected. That would work. To ensure it doesn't cost.
Okay, so if we're speaking about extending the placement info, so maybe
no.
No, but I was thinking about adding something that is also an issue, that the ordering of placement info. So if you have multiple placement info files trying to put a given shape somewhere, and they have different settings, so you can tell which one will be actually used.
I can tell you.
It's the
same as
order.
shapes, modules, orders of features, and
yeah. Okay, so it is deterministic, but maybe we should add something like a position or order.
You don't want position of placement, and we are lost, and I don't know. People already don't like the placement info.
Okay. Just throwing an idea.
2.0, okay, maybe we'll talk about that. Bertrand said placement must die. Placement info maybe, but no, placement is necessary. We need placement. The way we placement, so it's just how we do placement. That, image URL absolute not working fine in 1.8. This is sad. And repro, and there is a video almost with that. Maybe no, sorry, blah 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 blah. I found the problem finding. I used. Okay, he was using media. Now it's working fine. Close. I like this bug. Closed, not an issue. Workflow toolbar displays incorrectly, and I think it's said in the end, disregard. 2 in a row. We should do triage more often. Closed. Not an issue. The shift process should bring same level of functionalities as previously with record. No! So Christian. No. Because if you want relationships in the shift, use a relational database and not a document store. So it's all about aggregate rules. If you put something in the shift, then you save all your graph of data like a composition of entities, which is called the aggregate root, and you save it like this. And you use the storage mechanism that you want, JSON, XML, whatever you want, but you serialize the graph as is in the info set. If you want relationships to other things which have their own lives, then you need a relational database. You use tables and foreign keys to them. And the shifts can point some IDs, but that's it. Or identities. But it's a choice. You have to make a choice. Okay, but sure, shift alpha. Yes, sometimes we shift only part of the records. Just what can be shifted. If you can shift a part, shift this part. And the more you can shift, the better it is. But sometimes you can't because your data storage needs relationships, and that's it. Can I close it? Thank you. I will write a comment just for historical reason. Closed. The recommendation, I mean my recommendation, but I say it's the recommendation. Yeah, because some people go to full NoSQL, we'll say document databases or relational databases. Why not have an hybrid mode? We store documents when it makes sense, and we use relational where it makes sense. And best of both worlds. Wrong shape hidden test in content. What? Okay, so focus. There is a bug on WRT content part, new content part driver. Content part. When checking if the editor needs to be updated, for example, it was not hidden. I have a shape displayed on custom path. Okay.
I don't think you can put tildes in that match path thing. I don't think it works that way.
What?
I
Yes.
I
think so.
You need to get rid of it.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I did the feature, and knowing me, I think I must have done that.
Yeah, and I used it sometimes. It works.
Okay.
I remember building 42. I was there.
I was there, man.
I did it. I don't like. I don't think I like it, but I did it. That's it. That's how it is.
Okay.
Placing by URL alternates, and everything based on URLs I don't like at all. So I think what he says is it should not update the part if it's not displayed. Otherwise it might.
It doesn't. We fixed this. Didn't you fix this ages ago?
Something like this. I don't know what was it. Yeah.
Because I reported the same bug and you fixed it for me. When was this? It was raised on Friday.
Yeah, I fixed something for you, but so many things I can't remember what.
Well, I think you fixed this for me.
This one exactly?
Yeah, where if you hide it, then it's not updated.
There was an issue with that. Oh yes, it was related to the owner. The owner. If you, maybe the owner, yes, if you say don't show the edit owner and it will make it blank.
Yes, that was the one.
Okay, we'll ask him which version he's using then, but multi-tenancy. Oh, this. Click on all the modules at the bottom. You should not do that. Go to the. Oh, click on. Settle. Okay, I will open this one. But this is just because of Zoltan. I mean, he made the bug in the first place.
Wasn't it you because you changed something?
No. I did the theme checkboxes, and you added that to the modules, and you also added some select all checkbox. And you know, whenever I see someone creating a tenant, they want to check all the boxes. And when you have lots of modules, it's ugly. And I made it prettier than what it was before. It should be in columns and yeah. And I don't like the select all checkbox because people think that they need to say select all, otherwise nothing will be enabled. So we should remove the select all and.
Fair enough.
Because the select all is wrong. Don't select anything and it will select all.
By the way, that fix I can't really see any change. Was provided by the author of this bug report.
Sorry, I didn't listen to you.
So the fix is the author of the bug report provided. I don't see any difference.
Okay, but that's fine. We will remove the select all because we don't need a select all. Put an expandable section and make columns, and that will be fine. Because by default, I don't want to see anything. It's just advanced scenario. I want to expand it and select which themes or modules I want to enable.
Couldn't we solve this with an invert selection button or something like this?
No, that's fine. That's the solution. And if you don't agree, I kill you. Because I'm the dictator. And if you really don't agree, I invade your country. Okay? One
With the
city,
ASP.NET team.
one city by one city. Orchard 1.7 deployment issues and VS 2013. Comments here. Yes, me too. I've been using Web Deploy and it works very well since we fixed it last year. Is using this published recommended way of deploying? Yes. So someone is polite and complain. So what is the issue? Create custom template aside from that. For deployment again. No, let's see, it's compiled. The following. Yeah. Okay, I think close and put a comment. Done. The version of your config is bad in 1.8. I think you open a bug already for that, so we'll triage it very soon because we do a lot of triage, and we'll fix it. If you have the link directly to the bug, we'll open it and make it high, or maybe I will just fix it right now and done. What do you say when you say the version of warmup in web.config? The version of warmup in web.config. Boom, boom. Warmup module. Blah 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 blah. 1.8. Right now it's good, but when we release it will be 1.8.1 and it will be wrong again. Okay, so it's time. Any comment, question? No?
Sebastian, do you have that information for how to actually set up a load test like that so I can try to debug it?
Yep. Wait. This way. No, there is the history and you will see private projects. So if you go on my GitHub account, github.com/SebastianRoss, there is an app called load test. This is the thing here. And then you say just load test the URL like HTTP localhost whatever, okay, and like 5 users. If you say nothing, it will be 10, but you can say, for instance, 2, and it will hit the website like this. And then at the same time, you go edit and you will see the bug.
Okay, awesome.
It should work. SQLite should support that. It's advertised as this, so
Yeah, I'm
and,
gonna have to
and
look into
Ghost and Ghost is using it, so it should work.
Yeah, I don't get it. We'll see.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you guys.
See ya.
See you next week.
Bye bye.